stages in the cross bridge formation and the rotation of the head and the breaking of cross bridge. In my previous lecture I had told you about the sliding theory. I'll just repeat for you. When an action potential comes to the muscle through motor and plate junction, it spreads throughout the sarcolemma of the myofiber, and from each myofiber the impulse is received by T tubules. In response to this spread on the sarcolemma, and the L tubule releases a large number of calcium ions because they are the storehouse of the calcium ions. So the calcium ions are released into the sarcoplasm, and these calcium ions are combined with troponin C molecule. This combination inactivates the troponin tropomyosin complex, and there is occurrence of conformational changes in the structure of tropomyosin. As a result, it gets detached from the active sites of actin or F-actin filament, and thus the active site becomes uncovered. Now the head of the myosin cleaves the ATP and drives energy. Using this energy, it gets attached to the uncovered active site of the actin and results in the formation of actomyosin complex. The myosin heads are now tilted back and pulled. They pull the actin filament inwardly, which results in the contraction of the muscle fiber. So, due to the release of the calcium ions, there is conformational changes in troponin tropomyosin complex, and the active site of actin filament becomes uncovered, and the myosin head breaks up ATP for driving energy, and myosin head gets attached with active site of actin, forming actomyosin complex, and myosin head tilt and pull actin filament towards them, and the actin filament slide over myosin and contraction takes place. Now during the relaxation, all the events occur in the reverse direction. At the time of relaxation, when the stimulation is terminated, the actomyosin complex is broken down and myosin heads get detached from the actin filament. This process involves the use of ATP, and at the same time the calcium ions return back to the L tubule in the sarcoplasmic reticulum, and this also actin process, and this also requires an active process and uses ATP. Due to disappearance of the calcium ions, troponin tropomyosin complex is again re-established that again covers the active sites of the actin filament, and due to this interaction between actin and myosin ceases to occur, and thus the actin filaments return back to their original position. This results in the muscle relaxation. Now we'll come to the differences between the red muscles and the white muscles. Red muscles are red in color, whereas the white muscles, they are faintly red in color. They are not exactly proper red in color, rather than they are pale whitish in color. They are pale whitish in color. Then the amount of myoglobin in these muscles is very low, and the amount of myoglobin in the white muscles is very low, and in the red muscles the amount of myoglobin is very high. Then they are rich in mitochondria. Red muscles are rich in mitochondria, whereas white muscles are poor in mitochondria. Then the rate of metabolism is very high in red muscles, whereas the rate of metabolism is comparatively lower. These muscles, the red muscles, rarely undergo fatigue, whereas the white muscles frequently undergo fatigue. Now, what is myoglobin? Similar to hemoglobin, myoglobin is also an iron containing red colored pigment, but it is found only in muscles. A myoglobin molecule consists of one heme and one polypeptide chain. It can carry one molecule of oxygen, but hemoglobin can carry 4 O2 molecules. Due to presence of myoglobin, the muscles can contain their oxygen from two sources, from myoglobin and from hemoglobin present in the body. Now, what is muscle fatigue? During heavy exercises, the muscle demands more oxygen to generate more number of ATPs. If oxygen supply is not sufficient, a muscle generates energy by anaerobic respiration. In this type of respiration, lactic acid is produced as a byproduct. Consequently, lactic acid gets accumulated into the muscles. The lactic acid results in the muscle fatigue, and the site of fatigue is the junction between nerves and muscle, that is motor and plate junction. Pain is also experienced and in these muscles. How are they recovered? Recovery occurs only when sufficient amount of oxygen is supplied. This oxygen disposes of the lactic acid, but during recovery phase the oxygen consumption of muscles get increased than normal, because it is now required from two purposes: for the normal functioning and to dispose of lactic acid. So the extra amount of oxygen is taken by the muscle in recovery phase, and this is called oxygen debit. This way, the red muscles, they do not undergo fatigue, whereas white muscles, they frequently undergo fatigue. And this way we are well known about the contraction and the relaxation of the muscles and the differences between the red and the white muscles. Thank you.